All right, folks. Okay, obviously I am not here today. But I'm gonna walk you through the assignment. So what you guys are gonna be doing is you are going to be doing a collaborative DBQ. Okay, so on this, I posted the groups in the Google Classroom along with this video and the rubric for the DBQ. Okay, so in a moment when Mr. Cruz stops this video, you guys are gonna get with the 2 to 3 other people that I have put you with. And you are going to look at the list of theses that I have provided you. Okay, so each of you has 5 theses. These are theses that have been generated by your classmates. I started to try to make it so you didn't have your own thesis, but I cannot guarantee that that's the case. But what I want you guys to do as a group, I want you to go through that list of 5 theses, and I want you to pick whichever one of those do you think will make the strongest paper. Okay, so this is going to be an exercise in using the documents that you have to support an argument, even if it's not necessarily your argument. All right, and I understand that that's difficult. All right, but I'm just going to ask you guys to give me your best. Okay. So once you've decided what thesis you're going to use to write, you can delete the other 4. All 3 and/or 4 of you should be able to edit that same Google document. All right. So once you have done that, you are going to go ahead and brainstorm what is a contextualization statement that will fit with the thesis that you wrote. Okay. So as you are doing that, you're thinking about what events is your reader going to need to know to understand that argument. Okay. So if it's talking about the post Civil War era, maybe you should mention something about the Civil War. What ended up in the Civil War? What was the lead up to that? Okay. So thinking about what information is necessary to understand that argument. Okay. Then what you are going to do is you're going to use that thesis to reverse engineer your body paragraphs. Okay, so what body paragraphs are you going to need to support that argument? All right. So most of these that should be pretty straightforward. Okay, there should be 2 to 4 ideas that are the what and the why that supports the what in that thesis statement. So figure out what those are. Go through your documents from last week, and then figure out how you can sort those documents into those buckets. Once you have done that, okay, what I'm going to ask that you guys do is that you are going to divvy up those body paragraphs amongst you. Okay, so for most of you, that will mean one body paragraph a piece. For my group of 4, maybe you'll have 2 people that are going to team up on a body paragraph. Okay, but you're going to write that body paragraph that is going to support that thesis. Okay, now looking at this. Okay, so this is our rubric that we have for the DBQ. Okay, remember intro paragraph, contextualization, and thesis. For our purposes, I do not want you to change the thesis in that introduction paragraph. Just keep it as is, and I'm going to explain more on that later. Okay, so you need 6 documents total. Okay, so that means that you should use at least 2 documents per body paragraph. So for each person that is writing a body paragraph, okay, you're going to use 2 documents each. All right. Now, can you use the same document in 2 different body paragraphs? Yes, you can, but just know that that document only counts towards 1 towards your total of 6. Okay. After using 2, one of those documents that you use in your body paragraph, you should describe. Okay. So that means that you have to say in blank document. Don't say document A, actually describe what it is in the cartoon Bosses of the Senate or in the testimony given by Mr. McNeil. Okay, whatever it is, you're going to describe what it is. Okay, you're going to give that quote and you're going to say how that supports that body paragraph's argument. Okay, linking that together. Again, one of the paragraphs, one of the documents in your paragraph, you need to also use that SOAP FL. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to use all 6 categories, but thinking about one of those SOAP FL categories, how does it help you understand the document? How does it enhance the argument for that body paragraph? All right. Another point that you get for your thesis statement is evidence beyond the document. Okay, so for each body paragraph, I want you to get in the habit of using a outside piece of evidence. Okay, right now I don't want you guys to worry about argumentation. Okay, that will come. We will work on that. I promise. I'll give you some tips on how you can get that, but everything else has to be perfect to get that argumentation. All right. Once you have gone through all of those steps, okay, so you've selected your thesis, you have brainstormed a contextualization statement, you have broken it down to 2 to 4 body paragraphs, you've divvied those up. All right. This is probably going to get into tomorrow's work now. You're going to go through, edit each other's work, make sure that it kind of conforms to what I've told you that you need to do. 2 documents per paragraph. One is described, one is SOAP FL. You're making an argument that supports your thesis. All right. And then once you have done that, you are going to go through and you're going to write a conclusion paragraph. Okay. So remember, when your conclusion paragraph, this is your second chance at that thesis. Okay. So if maybe you didn't like the thesis, or maybe that thesis didn't perfectly match the argument that you guys ultimately wrote, this is your opportunity to kind of restate that thesis to match the argument that you made in the body paragraphs. Okay. So whatever you do, I do not want you to repeat the thesis. So I want you to think about what was the argument that you just made and sum that up in one sentence. Okay. And that should be what the first sentence of your conclusion paragraph is. Next, I want you guys to see if you can fit in any of those documents that you didn't get into any of the body paragraphs. Just kind of like, remember, this is our dumpster of paragraph, putting anything that we might miss. And then finally, okay, you're going to think about how does this argument lead to the next phase or the next chapter in American life. Okay, so I know that we haven't gotten there yet, but I want you to think about what could this possibly lead into. All right, this would be the only time it would be appropriate to bring in present day situations. Nowhere else in the rest of your paper should you bring in present day. But here might be the appropriate place that you can kind of make that next step, make a historical comparison. Okay. So that is what I'm going to look like for you guys to do. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm sure I made a mistake somewhere along the line. If you're not in a group, go ahead and jump onto somebody's. If you're in 2 groups, pick one. All right. You're going to be okay. All right. If you guys have questions, Mr. Cruz is very capable. He is a fully accredited, certified social studies teacher. By the way, can we give Mr. Cruz a round of applause? Yeah, just finished his student teaching. Ooh. There you go. Take a bow, Mr. Cruz. Okay. If you need help, he can help you. Okay. So please, please, please ask. All right. And if you guys need anything from me, please be sure to ask. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to give you guys your moment of zen here. All right. Believe it or not, I've done this entire video with a baby in my arms. Okay. All right. That was his dolphin noises just then. All right. This is Robbie. All right. He's my co-teacher here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do a moment of zen with Robbie. All right. So here we go. So feet flat on the ground. Hands slide desk in front of you. Pull yourself nice and straight. Deep breath in. Exhale, feel your body relax into your chair. For the next minute, we're just going to breathe. As you get distracted, as your mind starts to wander, acknowledge it, refocus your energy and tension in your breathing and the reverberation of the. Bring me in 3, 2, 1. Move whatever way is comfortable. Deep breath. Blow it out slow. All right. Okay, Robbie. Say bye to the students.